Good evening, everybody, and welcome to El Dorado Bronco Baseball. Tonight, the first of two with Denver, one tonight and one tomorrow night. Kurt Caden here, along with Avery Osten, as we get ready for night number two of Bronco Baseball. Avery, good to see you here tonight. A beautiful evening right now for baseball, but I think as the evening goes on, we've seen some storms out in western Kansas that are expected to kind of track this way. We don't want extra innings tonight.
No, we don't extra. We need these starting pitchers to work quickly, and hopefully we get a 1 or 2-0 Bronco win, and hopefully get out of here pretty quickly before the storms come in.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. I haven't seen any tornado watches or anything like that. I know there's a severe thunderstorm watch for south central Kansas tonight, but yeah, you just never know. It could be a good soaker, and of course, a lot of folks in the state of Kansas would love a good rain, which we've had some of, and are supposed to have on and off chances the rest of the week. But folks generally aren't going to complain about that with the drought situation going on in western Kansas and in southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma.
No, but hopefully here, of course, here at McDonald Stadium, the infield is all turf. So the only parts that would really be affected by it would be the outfield, and some of the infield, but it'd be pretty hard to rain a game out here, so hopefully we can get through these 9 innings and get on out of here with a Broncos win.
So good test here tonight with the Denver Cougars in town. Let's recap to Friday night, Avery. The Broncos got off to a great start. I think you described it as lifeless then through innings 3 through 7, and then they came alive in the 8th and the 9th, and they win it here on Friday night 8-7. And nothing can be more dramatic than a walk-off win. And the walk-off variety that we had on Friday night wasn't what normally people think of. You know, maybe a home run or a ball off the wall. This was just an infield hit, but just Jeremy McGowan putting the bat on the ball and getting the runner in third to score the winning run.
And that 9th inning and even the 8th inning was kind of what we were talking about in that game was kind of more of a collapse by Hayesville than it was El Dorado. Coming back and really winning that game, but some late errors and some maybe some bad decisions by some of their infielders really kept El Dorado in that game, and they capitalized. And that's what you got to hope as a coach, is that your team capitalizes on other teams' mistakes, and the Broncos took full advantage.
Neither pitcher, we had a lot of pitchers, of course, on Friday night from both squads, but seemed like the batters were able to get not a lot of hard hit balls. There were some, certainly the grand slam, a line drive over right field's fence, but we saw a lot of balls chopped onto this turf and whatnot from both teams, and I thought a pretty good job by these guys. You can tell they just got done with their spring season. I mean, we just didn't see a lot of swing and misses. They were putting the ball in play, and that's what you got to do.
Yeah, the good pitching between both teams. They came out, although it was an 8-7 game. 2 bad innings by each team really made that score that high, 8-7. But yeah, it was good hitting. It was decent hitting. Like you said, there wasn't a whole lot of balls hit real hard or deep, but kind of some short balls that, like you said, coming off their last season, that's kind of what happens.
You know, there was a lot of El Dorado, I thought, took advantage of a lot of walks, hit by pitches, a lot of hit batsmen for the Broncos. As just kind of scanning my scorebook from Friday night, Jacob Spring at 2 for 5 was really had the best night. He scored 2 runs for El Dorado. I was also impressed, though, with Sam Lane and Clayton Dalrymple and Spring as well, and others, the running game. We talked to Doug Bell about it during the game Friday night, and he likes aggressive base running, and we saw a lot of aggressive base running from El Dorado on Friday night. Ran themselves out of an inning or two, but they also put a lot of pressure on the Hayesville defense.
And what that does is it really makes the pitchers, instead of focusing all on the batters, they got to start focusing on the base runners, and Dalrymple did a great job of distracting the pitcher a couple of times, which ended up leading to base hits and even runs for the Broncos.
So we've got the managers out there. Let's see if we got just taking a look at our webcam here. And again, we appreciate all the comments that we received after our first night of broadcasting Bronco baseball on Friday night. Again, Very easy to go to. You just go to youtube.com, search Kurt Caden, both with C's, CurtCaden, and subscribe to my channel. And you can get the links for the games. We'll try to get those up at least 24 hours before the games occur. And you can sit back and enjoy wherever you might be. And we always appreciate emails or comments. You can comment on the YouTube page. You can do that. You can email us. And we're going to do cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. We also have another possible email address, or is that, no, that's it. Sorry. So we'll have that available. It's always nice to hear from folks. We saw we got a lot of views on the first game. And the nice thing is, Avery, if you can't catch the games live, they will archive. They don't archive immediately after the game, but they will get there. Where for a 3-hour and 8-minute game like we had on Friday night, it takes a little bit for all of that to get in there and archive. But we've had close to 100 folks watch it or watch again, and we're glad that you're able to do that.
And we always like to hear where people are listening from. Of course, they're kids playing, or if you're just grandparents, friends, we'd like to hear where you're listening from. So be happy to email us, Caden Broadcasting, like Kurt said, with a C, and tell us who you are and where you're listening from, and we'd be happy to give a shout out or just even some comments on the game.
Let's give you the starting lineups here tonight as we get ready for Denver. And Avery, we both researched online for some information on Denver, and we don't know if we were looking at current Denver information or last year's Denver information. So I'm not sure what kind of record they come in with here tonight. Guess it doesn't matter. It's early in the season, you know that. For Denver tonight, they will lead off with Chris Ramsey. Jaron Donato bats second. Evan Kaler, the first baseman, batting third. Mac Crispino, starting left fielder, will bat fourth. Michael Cirillo, starting catcher, batting fifth. Batting sixth, the third baseman, is Dane Berman. At shortstop, batting seventh, Louis Carafilio. And the eighth hitter is the designated hitter, Travis Pete, and batting ninth, the center fielder, Hunter Brown. On the mound tonight for Denver is Garrett Smith. For El Dorado tonight, we'll give you their batting order shortly. Out in the outfield from left field will be Clayton Dalrymple, Sam Lane in center field, and Jacob Spring is in right. Trevor Ezell at third, Morgan Oliver at shortstop, Levi Parker at second, and Cameron Knight is at first. Jonathan Schmitz is catching tonight, and Matt Slaughter will do the pitching for El Dorado.
Broncos again coming into tonight's game 1-0 in this young campaign with an 8-7 win over the Hayesville Aviators, coming back on Friday night in a comeback victory after being down, 7-2, I believe. Going into the eighth inning, late rally from the Broncos ended up getting them with the 1-0 record to start off.
I was talking about hitting stars. Morgan Oliver with that 3-run double in the eighth inning. I think I've failed to mention him a couple of times, and he really deserves a lot of credit because that was a huge hit in this game, or in the game on Friday. We'll let you listen in as we get ready for tonight's national anthem here from Brad Long Field and McDonald Stadium.
as the Broncos make their way on the field and get ready for tonight's game. Starting pitching for the Broncos is Matt Slater. Here is the El Dorado Broncos lineup, their batting order. And center field, Sam Lane. At second base, Levi Parker. In left field, Clayton Dalrymple. Starting in right field, Jacob Spring. At first base, Cameron Knight. Starting catcher, Jonathan Schmitz. At third base, Trevor Azell. The designated hitter, Jeremy McGowan. And finally, for the Broncos, at shortstop, Morgan Oliver. That's your starting lineup for the 1-0 El Dorado Broncos as Matt Slater warms his arm up at the pitcher's mound as this game is about to get underway. And for your first inning call, Kurt Caden.
Thank you, Avery. We show the sun shining through there up above, but for the most part, pretty good weather. Very little humidity in the air. The game time temperature looks like about 85 degrees. And we were commenting up here in the press box. Denver comes in. Don't know their record, but their uniforms that come in are a statistician's nightmare. They are camouflage. They are camouflage, and the numbers are hidden right somewhere in that camouflage. So we're going to have to trust Gary down on stats tonight, Bill Young on the PA. They've got the harder job. They've got to let everyone else know what's going on. We just are talking to our audience here. Hopefully we get it right. So leading off is Chris Ramsey, and he'll look to lay down a bunt, and the first pitch from Slaughter is high. Ball one to Ramsey. Second pitch from Slaughter is on the outside corner and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Chris Ramsey. Starting right fielder for these Denver Cougars. Slaughter, right-hand pitcher, brings in a nice curveball in there for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 on the way, and they test the outside, and it was just a bit outside. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Busy week of home games for these Broncos. On the 2-2, curveball is a beauty and a swing and a miss. Strike 3 on Ramsey. That'll bring up Jaron Donato, the second baseman. Evan Kaler waits on deck. Avery, the Broncos, home game, I should say, tomorrow night with Denver. Off to Hayesville Tuesday, back home Wednesday for Derby. And then weekend series here with Hayes, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All games starting at 7 o'clock as Slaughter works the inside corner for strike 1.
The start of many busy weeks for these players and coaches.
Yeah, they don't get much break from the college season into the summer season, but you know what? If you're a player, that's exactly what you just want to keep playing baseball. And you don't have to worry about any schoolwork right now, probably, unless some of them are taking any online classes. The 1-1 lined up the middle into the outfield for a base hit. Solid single by Jaron Donato. So that'll bring up the first baseman, Evan Kaler, here for Denver. And we'll see what Donato wants to do over at first base. Evan Kaler looks and reaches for the first pitch out in left field as a base hit, though. Dalrymple was giving a lot of respect to Kaler, was really deep there, Avery, and that one just dropped in front of me. He had no chance.
Yeah, that was a good place off the end of the bat there by Donato. Or excuse me, that was Kaler with the hit.
So Matt Crispino comes up. He is playing his college ball right now at Fairfield University. Left-handed batter. 2 on, 1 out for Denver. And Slaughter starts off Crispino with a strike. Slaughter's been right around the strike zone all early on here, Avery, getting ahead of a lot of batters here. But Donato and Kaler have gotten singles. They're out at first and second. The 0-1 and a curveball right in there and buckled the knees of Crispino. 0-2. Slaughter, right-handed pitcher, comes to the belt, and the delivery. Line to shortstop. Oliver, a dive, couldn't get it, and that will score Donato. The runners, Kaler will stay at second base. Good job there by Sam Lane to keep Kaler at second, and Denver off to a 1-0 lead.
Kind of like you were saying with El Dorado last game on Friday night. You know, the Cougars aren't hitting it necessarily terribly hard or deep, just in the right places. Three very good place base hits, and it's 1-0 Cougars quickly.
Good effort from Oliver. He was shading more in the hole, and that one more on the towards second base. Another left-hand hitter coming up. It's a catcher, Michael Sorello. And he hits one to second base. Fielded there by Parker. Over to Oliver for one. Back to first. Double play. 1 run. 3 hits. No errors. 1 left. After a half inning, our score. Denver 1. And El Dorado 0. More play-by-play in a moment. You are watching and listening to El Dorado Bronco Baseball.
All right, Broncos fans, waking up your Broncos in this inning. Playing out of the University of Texas Tiger, number 6, your center fielder, Sam Lane.
So the Denver Cougars draw first blood with 3 straight singles, but a nice job, Avery, by Slaughter to induce a 4-6-3. And Gary tells us 13 pitches that inning for Slaughter, 10 of them strikes. So again, he was around the plate, and really credit Denver putting the ball in play. They got 3 singles in that inning, scored a run, but a nice job not to get rattled after those singles. Just keep pounding that zone. That's all you can do.
And if that looks familiar, how about in Friday night's game, bases loaded in the first inning, strikeout, and then 4-6-3 double play to end that half inning.
Very similar, very familiar, isn't it? Lineup tonight for El Dorado. You read that off, didn't you, the batting order? Only one change. Sam Lane has moved up to the number 1 spot. Levi Parker drops to number 2. So Lane, the starting center fielder, 6 foot, 175-pounder. He bats from the right side. Garrett Smith pitching for Denver, and 2 straight balls to Lane. 2-0 to Lane. And the pitch outside and low, and a 3-0 count just like that for Lane. Lane was 1 for 4 on opening night. Drew a walk, scored a run, stole a base. He takes as the 3-0 is right down the middle. 3 balls, 1 strike. The 3-1 from Smith is chopped high in the air. Then the third baseman let it bounce. He fires one over to first, and he got the very speedy Sam Lane. I thought there when Dave Berman, or is it Dane? Let's see. Dane Berman let that bounce a second time. I thought Lane was going to beat it out, but a good strong arm by Berman to throw him out. So here's Levi Parker. He bats on the left side, starting second baseman. He started that 4-6-3 double play to get out of trouble in the first. Smith low and in, and a 2-0 count. So we're seeing kind of an opposite approach here from Smith. He got behind Lane 3-1 before Lane chopped out to third. He's behind 2-0 here, and look out as Parker screams one into the El Dorado dugout. Smith, the way he works reminds me a little of what we saw from Mark Burley today. He really gets it and goes. He gets his signal. And the 2-1 fouled off down the third base side.
He must have got the message that there's some storms coming in.
Maybe get it moving along a little bit. Good crowd here. Friday night we had a little rain shower just before the game. But it didn't keep folks away, and they saw El Dorado come back for an 8-7 win. Curveball outside, and the full count to Levi Parker. Dalrymple will be next. The 3-2 from Smith. And again, fouled down the third base side, ricochets off the wall and all the way out to the left fielder, Mac Crispino. So 3-2, 1-0 Denver, bottom of the first inning, one away for the Broncos. And again, same spot, and again it ricochets out to Crispino. So he's getting a little exercise. Is Crispino. And I wonder if he'll continue to, he started shading a little bit more to that third base foul line, that left field foul line, I guess I should say. Another 3-2 coming here from Garrett Smith. And the pitch up the middle, and boy, that was really well done by Parker. Not only, Avery, did the left fielder Crispino start hugging that left field line, but boy, was shortstop Louis Carafilio way in the hole there, and that opened up the middle of the field, and Parker took advantage.
Well, after you hit 4 opposite field balls, you kind of start shifting that way, and that's exactly what he did. And right down the middle, Parker hit it for a single.
You know, I don't know if Smith did his defense any favors there because he went a little off speed there on the 3-2. That allowed Parker to catch up, and instead of being late and hitting it foul towards third base, he was able to hit it right up the middle. So that brings up Clayton Dalrymple. Dalrymple looks like he's going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. Bats third. Really plays the game intently, gets right in on the plate. 1-0 count, and Parker goes. That's a strike, and Parker's got it stolen easily. So a stolen base there, and Dalrymple now will see if he can drive him in. Clayton in the first inning on Friday night singled after Sam Lane had stole second base and scored Lane. Dalrymple 6'2", 190 out of Kansas State. The 1-1, and nice slow curve there, falls in for a strike. Jacob Spring would be next. 1-0 Denver in the camouflage. Would you call it black? I couldn't see if it was a navy blue or a black. Dalrymple swing and miss on the curveball, and strike 3.
Kind of looks like a mixture of black, gray, and white. I don't know.
And the numbers are dark.
Well, and that's kind of what you see a lot of, especially college teams, even down to the high school level. They've been doing these jerseys with kind of the camouflage look, whether it's red, black, or whatever color, and I'm not a big fan of it.
2 out for Jacob Spring. And past the catcher, and Parker will take third base. Well, and I know like the San Diego Padres on Sundays wear a camouflage uniform to honor their military, and certainly it's a worthy cause, but it really is, to do it all the time. And I'm not sure if these are Denver's everyday uniforms or what, but it is very difficult to really read numbers from any kind of distance. Spring pops it up as he was ahead 1-0, and the second baseman will corral it. And Parker is stranded at third. So one inning is in the books here from McDonald Stadium. Our score, Denver 1, El Dorado 0. More in a moment. You're listening to El Dorado Bronco Baseball. So welcome back. Kurt Caden and Avery Olsen here. Inning number 2 about to begin. Denver will send to the plate Dane Berman, Louis Carafilio, and Travis Pete. And if Louis' family or friends are watching, you and I are almost positive we're probably getting his name wrong, but we don't have a pronunciation guide, so we're winging it. Swing and a miss on strike 1 from Matt Slaughter. Berman, the starting third baseman, showed off his arm back in the bottom of the first inning. On a chopping ball from Sam Lane, a high chopper, usually you'll see a fielder charge it and get it before the second hop. He didn't, but he had plenty of arm strength to throw out the leadoff batter, Sam Lane. Slaughter, a curveball, misses up and in. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. As clouds, the sky has become a little more overcast. We don't see the sun shadows or anything right now here at McDonald Stadium. Berman rifles one. Well, that wall, the fence on the right next to the El Dorado dugouts, taking 3 or 4 good whacks here tonight.
Might have to get a new board after that game. After this game, I mean.
And they keep they just kind of careen right off the side fence, which I don't think you can see on our video. No, you can't. But it just careens off there and right out to left field. Like a good pool shot or something. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Slaughter, the delivery curveball, and just reaching out and slapping it out to right field is Berman. That's a base hit. Good 2-strike hitting. That's the second or third time we've seen Denver put the ball in play with 2 strikes. And Carafilio will come up, the starting shortstop. Berman will board at first base. Designated hitter Travis Pete waits on deck. Carafilio, a long look down for some signs. Hofstra University. That's out New York, if I'm not mistaken, Hofstra. High and away on the first pitch to Carafilio. The number 7 batter. It's already the 4th hit for Denver here. And foul ball. Fouls back and into the parking lot. Under a car. We were talking about, where do you park at a ball game? As a throw back to first, and Berman is back. Tonight, Avery, we parked across the street. Friday night, even though we didn't get threatened really, we just felt safer a little further away. The 1-1, and Carafilio squares. Nice bunt. Deadens it right in front of the plate. And Schmitz comes out and throws out Carafilio 2-3 on the putout. But a nice sacrifice by Carafilio. That advances Berman to second base, and Travis Pete and Hunter Brown, the next 2 batters for Denver, will try to drive in another run. Slaughter, a look at second, now to the plate. And it's chopped to third base, and a nice pick there by Izell. He throws to first. And then taking third was Berman. Cameron Knight thought about firing one over to third, but, it would have have to be a perfect throw there. And more bad can happen from that than anything. You get 2 outs and let your pitcher Slaughter, who's been around the plate, go to work here on the number 9 hitter, and don't give Denver a free run and a good decision by Knight.
And they say with 2 outs, just hold on to it and let your pitcher do his work here.
Zell, nice pick and throw to get the second out. So 2 down here in the top of the second. Denver on the rail, 1-0. Wind is blowing out, would you say, from right to left field? Anything hit out to left center field is going to carry if you get it up in the jet stream. Low and away, ball 2 to Hunter Brown. Brown, the starting center fielder for Denver. 2-0. And Slaughter to the dish, and he slides one right in there for a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. El Dorado in their orange vests and black undershirts and white pants. Denver in the camouflage uniforms as you're watching tonight. 2-1, and a nice solid single by Brown, and that'll drive in Dane Berman. A wide turn by Brown. Thought about trying for 2, but he'll settle for an RBI single. That'll bring up the leadoff batter, Chris Ramsey, who struck out last inning. 2 runs and 5 hits already here for the Cougars. Decent lead by Brown, and squaring around is Ramsey. There are 2 down. Zell was not on the infield grass there, so Ramsey thought maybe he might be able to sneak one down the third base line. Jaron Donato would be next if Ramsey can keep it going here for Denver. Slaughter. Pitch is fouled off by Ramsey, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Same 2 teams here tomorrow night, 7 o'clock with the start time, and we'll have the broadcast here on YouTube. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, top of the second, and Slaughter right on the outside corner. Boy, Schmitz set up there, and Slaughter hit him right where he wanted it there, and Ramsey is behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Slaughter, a look over at first, and here comes the 1-2 trying to go outside. Stealing is the base runner Brown, and a perfect throw by Schmitz, and he is cut down. But Denver able to do some damage again. 1 more run, 2 more hits. 1.5 in the books. Denver 2, El Dorado 0. More Bronco baseball in a moment here from El Dorado.
Just a reminder, Broncos fans, all foul ball, get out of play, remain the property of the Dorado Broncos. You go retrieve the foul ball and return it to the Broncos concession stand, they can get free. Leading off this inning for your El Dorado Broncos.
So the Broncos coming to bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Denver has got 5 hits, Avery, all singles. They've put 2 runs across the board, and Cameron Knight will see if they can get the Bronco offense going here.
It'd be good to see here. Good first inning from Garrett Smith for the Cougars,
who fell behind a lot early on, but in that first inning, but El Dorado unable to take advantage. Strike 1, a foul ball from Knight. Garrett Smith plays at William Jewell. In fact, I think just finished his senior season. So a seasoned pitcher out there for Denver. And he's ahead of Schmidt, or excuse me, he's ahead of Knight, 0-2. Cameron was the starting catcher on Friday night. Tonight he's playing first base, and Schmitz, who played first base Friday, is behind the dish. 0-2, and a good Good waste there, changing the eye level for Knight as he went high on that ball one pitch. Now I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe go back down low. The 1-2 pitch, and it's outside and low, 2-2. Knight was 1 for 3 on opening night. He had a sacrifice bunt and was hit by a pitch. And a nice curveball in there for strike 3. Knight goes down looking. It was Knight's sacrifice on Friday night that put 2 runners into scoring position at second and third. Eventually the runner on third scored on a pass ball. And then the chopper by McGowan, after a couple of intentional passes, scored the winning run. So here's Schmitz, starting catcher tonight from Tarleton State University. 6'1", 215-pounder, looks at strike 1. Trevor Ezell would be next. And Smith got a little, I don't know if he stepped awkwardly there or what, as he was ready to deliver. He kind of tiptoed his way off the mound. He's back on there, ready to go. No balls, 1 strike, 1 down, bottom of the second, and another nice off-speed pitch to Schmitz, and he was way out in front. He was looking to whack one up into that jet stream. We started in some sunshine tonight, overcast now, no rain in the immediate area, but there are storms marching from west to east. Here's a high chopper by Schmitz. Berman fields, fires it low, and it is safe. Jonathan Schmitz is safe. And they're gonna give an error to the first baseman, and that's probably the right call. He would have been out. It wasn't a horrible throw by Berman. So Ezell will come to the plate. Schmitz stands over at first base. Ezell, left-handed batter, and looks at ball 1. Ezell, from playing his college ball right here in El Dorado at Butler County Community College. 6'2", 170. I was watching these guys take infield, Avery. Boy, Ezell at third, really just nice, strong arm. Watching him fire that thing to first with ease and with a lot on it. Smith skips one across the plate, ball 2. Waiting on deck is Friday night's hero, Jeremy McGowan. Ezell waits. Not a big lead by Schmitz, and Ezell got tired of waiting. A lot of speed on this El Dorado team, but I don't know if Schmitz is the guy that's actually going to be taking the base, and looking at his lead, he's not going to. Ezell pokes one over to short. Tough play for the shortstop, and they're able to get Schmitz out at second base. Schmitz went in hard, sliding, as he took out the second baseman, Donato, but he is out 6-4. So fielder's choice puts Ezell at first base, but now 2 away. Jeremy McGowan the designated hitter here tonight. Check over on Ezell at first base. 2 down. We're in the bottom of the second. Denver 2, El Dorado 0. Back over, and Ezell easily back. Outfield grass looks just magnificent here at McDonald Stadium. Ezell will steal. Trying to steal. Good strong throw, but Ezell slides in, on, and over the bag, but he was able to reach back and stay on. So a stolen base for Ezell. So McGowan now a chance to drive in the runner. A 1-ball, no strike count. Right-handed batter is McGowan. Good lead by Ezell off a second. Donato over to the base. Smith steps off, and Ezell retreats. 1 ball, no strike to McGowan. From Troy University. Donato was over, ready for a throw at second, and boy, the whole right side of the infield was vacated there. But Smith gets a strike as McGowan was unable to pull the trigger.
Might see McGowan just poke one opposite field here. He, on the ground, and it definitely score a Zell.
Zell is really causing Smith a lot of trouble out there. And for Smith, again, we saw this Friday night with Hayesville a bit. You know, there's 2 outs. I mean, this is you just go after this guy. You really don't worry about Zell dancing around out there. You're up 2-0. And a nice slider in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Most managers they don't want those runners to get in the pitcher's heads. And right now, Zell's dancing around. He's got Donato pulled all the way over there. I mean, there is a huge hole on the right side of the infield. McGowan at 1-2, unable to put the bat on the ball. He'll strike out, and that ends the 2nd inning. For the Broncos, no runs, no hits. There was an error and 1 man left. We've played 2 from El Dorado, our score. Denver 2, El Dorado 0. And welcome back to Brad Long Field, McDonald Stadium. The Broncos and the Cougars doing battle here, the 2nd game of the year for El Dorado. They are 1-0 coming into this game, but they trail tonight 2-0. The top of the order coming up for Denver, and we'll send it over to Avery Osen.
That is Chris Ramsey. That'll lead off batter for the Cougars. He'll start off. He struck out in the 1st inning, followed by Jaron Donato and Evan Kaler are the guaranteed batters in the top of the 3rd inning. Cougars lead 2-0. Ramsey takes his final practice swing and steps in the box. Slaughter with the pitch. And just a little high and outside for ball 1. Next pitch is in there for a strike on his 31st pitch of the night. Next pitch for Matt is lifted up to center field, and an easy fly out for Sam Lane. So that'll bring up the 2nd baseman, Jaron Donato, who had a single and started off a rally of 3 straight singles in the 1st inning. Donato steps in the box. First pitch from Slaughter is in there for a strike. Right on the top half of Donato. Slaughter's next pitch is a little outside to even up the count at 1-1. Broncos in the orange uniforms for game 1 of a doubleheader as Donato bloops one out to center field, and it falls in for a single, and that's his 2nd of the night. I'll bring up Evan Kaler, who singled in the 1st inning. 1 for 1 tonight. Donato getting about a 2-step lead on first base. First pitch of the at-bat from Slaughter is swung on and missed by Kohler. Oh and 1, 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. 2-0 Denver. Nice pitch on the outside corner from Slaughter, and that'll make it a 0-2 count. Kohler steps in and he'll hit one to the second baseman, a flip over to the shortstop. 4-6-3 double play. Parker to Oliver tonight, and that'll get the Broncos out of this top of the third inning. Your score going into the bottom of the third. Denver 2, El Dorado 0. Back with more action here from McDonald Stadium coming up.
Leading off this inning for your Dorado Broncos, your shortstop out of Central Michigan University, wearing number 10, Morgan Oliver.
Back here at McDonald Stadium here in El Dorado, Kansas. As the Broncos due up, here is the ninth batter, Morgan Oliver. And then the leadoff hitter, Sam Lane, followed by Levi Parker here in the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 Cougars. First pitch from Garrett Smith is inside corner and in for a strike. Smith just threw his 33rd pitch of the game as Smith was ready to go again, and Morgan Oliver said, "Not so quick. I need a break." And calls for time. Steps back on the pitcher's mound, and here we go. Low and outside, ball one to Morgan Oliver. Oliver hits one to the right side. Ramsey coming up, but Donato calls him off, the second baseman, and makes the catch for out number one.
The University of Texas Tyler, number 6, Sam Lane.
Sam Lane now up for the Broncos. Grounded out to the third baseman. Gets some redemption here with a base hit up the middle for a single. Now it's Levi Parker, the second baseman.
Levi Parker.
Had a single in the first inning, followed by a stolen base. Got all the way around to third, but Broncos couldn't bring him home. First pitch from Smith is a good slider in for strike one. Parker looking over at third base coach for a signal. Could see maybe a Sam Lane steal, and Smith thought the same thing. He checks back first. Lane gets back in time. Levi Parker steps back in. Pitch from Smith hits the outside corner for strike two, 0-2. One out here in the bottom of the third. Sam Lane standing on first base. It's about a 3-step lead. Wouldn't be a bad one to go on 0-2. And Smith throws it back to Kaler, and he'll hold the runner at first. Pitch from Smith, another good one. A fastball hits the outside corner and catches Levi Parker looking for out number 2. Clayton Dalrymple up now, the left fielder. First pitch from Smith is hit. Chopper right back to him. He'll make an easy throw over to first baseman Kaler. And that'll do it for the bottom of the 3rd inning. At the end of 3, Denver 2, Broncos nothing. More baseball coming up. You're listening to El Dorado Broncos baseball. Matt Slaughter makes his last warm-up pitch to catcher Jonathan Schmitz, and we're ready for inning number 4. 2-0 Denver. First pitch from Slaughter is grounded to Parker, and he just went right under him, and so an error on Parker and a leadoff runner here in the 4th inning was Matt Crispino. Now up for the Cougars, Michael Cerullo. Get into a 4-6-3 double play in the 1st inning. First pitch from Slaughter is low, and ball 1. Next pitch from Slaughter outside. 2-0 count. Crispino, 2-step lead on first, and a swing and a miss from Cerullo to make the count 2-1. Slaughter throws one back to Cameron Knight at first base, not in time to get the runner. Next pitch of this at bat, fouled back to the screen by Cerullo. Evens up the count, 2-2. Left-handed batter, Michael Cerullo. Standing on deck, Dane Berman. As Cerullo's early on a pitch and fouls it off.
You know, so many of these guys that we talk about what college they're at right now, Cerullo's undecided. So must be either a high school kid just graduated, ready to go to college, or something like that.
And Slaughter hits Cerullo, and he'll get a free bag. We'll bring up third baseman Dane Berman. Jonathan Smits goes out to the mound to talk to Matt Slater.
Slaughter.
Slaughter.
Sorry. Another Berman here, Avery, another undecided when it comes to college.
Right-handed batter Dane Berman steps in. Righty on righty matchup. Pitch from Slater is good. Low and outside for strike one.
The makings of Slaughter's got to work out of some trouble here, Avery. An error and an HBP is never a way you want to start an inning, and now 2 on with no out.
Could lead to potential damage here. Ball hit up the middle. Stopped by Oliver. The throw over to first and got him. Not a real hard hit ball. And I think that's kind of why Berman is in shock down on the first base line, how he ended up getting out there. But a great stop and throw from Morgan Oliver. Some diving play by him.
We have seen in just a game and a half with Morgan Oliver, he is not afraid. In fact, I think he likes diving either to his backhand side or his forehand side. He is not afraid to throw his body out there, and he gets a lot of leather on a lot of balls that most guys wouldn't get.
Just like that, he threw out Berman.
I think you're exactly right, too. I think Berman was in shock that he was actually called out because they went past the pitcher a couple hops. Oliver had to dive, rolled over, fired one over to first. A lot of things went on there, and he still got him out.
Good play there by Oliver, and a strong throw. Got right up and put it right on point for Cameron Knight at first base. 1-1 pitch is low in the dirt, but Smitch is right there to get that one, and 2-1, 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Slaughter working through the stretch. Ball hit right over the head of Parker. That'll score 2 and a base hit for Carafilio. And it is 4-0 Denver. Travis Pete up now, the designated hitter. Looks like Chad Gerwick will head out to the mound to talk to Slaughter.
We're singing the praises of Morgan Oliver, and just coincidentally, his mom was there. I think it was his mom, but and Oliver gave us some nice comments that were, always are nice to see, and we really appreciate those comments. And we invite anyone else to write a comment. You can do it on the YouTube page there. You can do it on the El Dorado Bronco Facebook page. Any kind of feedback, both good and bad. We, if there's some negative feedback or some things you would like us to improve on, we can certainly do our best. We've never claimed to know it all. We just like doing what we do, and so we would love any kind of commentary that you might have to give us.
And on that El Dorado Broncos Facebook page, if you're ever wondering, how you can watch a game, I will always post the link, or Kurt will post the link of where you can find the game that night. So if you're ever wondering, I don't know how to do this, just go to the Broncos Facebook page, and at least probably 30 minutes before first pitch, we'll have the link up there for you to make sure you can watch your son's game here.
So we get a foul ball here, but from Pete, it is confusing when I created the YouTube page, just kind of experimenting. I just put my name, Kurt Caden, on there. Well, in retrospect, I would like to change it where folks could go to YouTube and just search El Dorado Bronco baseball. I didn't do that, and hopefully we can make this work this way. But I'm well aware that searching for El Dorado Bronco baseball would have been a better thing to put there.
As an attempted bunt by Pete, and he misses for strike number 2. We'd also love for you to email us, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. I'd like to hear where you're listening from tonight. As a swing and a miss, the throw down to second base on the steal from Carafilio, and he's safe. But a big strikeout there from Slaughter. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th.
Great effort there by Schmitz trying to throw the runner out, but he had to make a nice pick, and then his follow-through, I don't know if he got as much on that throw as he wanted to, and he may have actually, his hand may have hit some of the bat of Travis Pete inadvertently as he was kind of shaking his hand after that throw. So We'll see if Slaughter can get out of this inning with no more damage done.
Grounder to Parker. His throw to first to Cameron Knight. Right on target, and that'll get the Broncos out of this top of the fourth inning. Going into the bottom of the fourth. Denver 4, Broncos nothing. We'll be back with the bottom of the fourth inning coming up.
And leading off this inning for your Dorado Broncos at Cottonville Community College, your right fielder, number 9, Jacob Spring.
Coming up for the Broncos, 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Jacob Spring, Cameron Knight, followed by Jonathan Schmitz. Right-handed batter Jacob Spring steps into the box. Garrett Smith ready to go for the Cougars, and he'll pitch it high and inside. Jacob Spring backing up a little bit after that throw. Back in there now, 1-0 pitch, also high and inside for ball number 2. Next pitch fouled off right over the Broncos dugout. And it is a 2-1 count. Good curveball on the inside corner for strike 2. 2-2. Smith's delivery, high over the head of Jacob Spring for ball 3. Payoff pitch from Spring. Lined over to the right field, and unfortunately Ramsey was standing right in the correct spot for out number 1. Brings up first baseman Cameron Knight.
Spring got that right off the end of the bat. He still hit it pretty well, but it just didn't have much carry to it. And as you said, the right fielder out there, Ramsey was playing him perfectly, and it was a really routine play.
Another pitch high and inside by Garrett Smith. Starts off the count at 1-0. Ball that almost hits the ground for ball 2. 2-0 to first baseman Cameron Knight. Third pitch. Good slider in there for strike 1. 1 out here in the bottom of the fourth. 4-0 Denver. Curveball just a little inside to make the count 3-1. Smith high and inside again, and that'll put Cameron Knight on first base after that walk. Brings up Jonathan Schmitz. Schmitz got on base in the second inning due to an error on the first baseman. As coach for the Cougars comes out and talks to the infield. A little bit of encouragement here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Smith has been pretty good. He's thrown a lot of pitches, but he's held El Dorado to no runs on 2 hits, and we're here in the bottom of the fourth inning, and it's an El Dorado team that did score 8 here on Friday night. Avery, real quick, weather, it looks like a line of thunderstorms, not a huge line, intensity-wise, but one that could drop a pretty good downpour right now across Salina to Great Bend and down near Dodge City. So that line, it's marching this way, but it's not that, you know how we look at those big tails. I don't really see that, so hopefully things are moving along here. Hopefully we won't be interrupted by any rain here tonight.
Good to hear. 1-0 pitch. It's actually going to be thrown over to first. Trying to keep Cameron Knight over there.
We mentioned on Friday night, for those that didn't hear, we are unofficial, official weathermen. We don't have any meteorology to us, our background, but we love weather. Yeah, we love radars.
Like baseball, like weather, yeah.
So we try to act like we know what we're talking about on the weather, although we certainly aren't experts. We know more baseball than we do weather, I would say.
I hope so. As Smith checks the runner back at first again.
Makes you wonder if teams might be getting leery of this El Dorado running game this early in the year. We've seen just a constant barrage of guys trying to take second base with a pretty good success ratio.
Well, I think they'd have to know the scouting report. A good shot by Jonathan Schmitz. It's deep in left field, and it's gone. 2-run home run, Jonathan Schmitz. And that'll put the Broncos on the board. Kurt, what a shot there from Schmitz.
One sin of color commentators is to kind of go ooh or ah, but when he hit that, and we talked about earlier at the wind, which has died down a bit, but still a good wind from right to left field. We said if you get one up in that jet stream, it's going to go. I don't know if he needed any help. That one cleared the wall by a long way, but that was just a pure swing by Jonathan Schmitz, and he cuts the deficit in half.
Left center is 375, and just to give you a vision here, an image, as ball is thrown into the dirt by Garrett Smith. It looks like there's a truck out there that's probably about 10 feet behind the fence, and it cleared that easily.
Yeah, I was looking at the orange piece of machinery even further behind that truck, and I think it cleared that as well. I mean, that was
400 probably.
Yeah, you give him 400 on that? 400 maybe? Yeah.
So
we're going 400 on that, Avery.
Nevertheless, as Kurt said, cuts the deficit. Azazel hits one to second baseman Donato, and he'll get him out at first base for 2 outs. That'll bring up designated hitter Jeremy McGowan. Right-handed batter steps into the box. First pitch from Smith is low and ball 1. Second pitch from Smith is a good pitch. Fastball, a lower corner. And strike 1. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off to the left side into the Broncos dugout.
It hopped the little guard fence there, Avery, and went right on in there, but I'm sure the guys had some time to react there. I didn't see anyone scatter, as you sometimes see.
McGowan hits one to the third baseman. He bobbles it, and he can't get it back, and that'll be a error on Berman, and that'll put McGowan on first with 2 outs. Morgan Oliver, shortstop, who had a great play in the top of the 4th inning. Now up to bat. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. 4-2 Cougars. First pitch from Oliver is low and in the dirt for ball 1.
Well, one of those plays, Avery, for Smith, it gives up the 2-run homer. He comes back and gets a ground out, and looked like he had another one. He's going to go back to the dugout, and really a routine play, but Berman just could not ever get the handle there, and that forces extra stress here on the pitcher Smith, and he falls behind 2-0 here to Oliver. Free outs, especially with 2 outs. I mean, this is what El Dorado took advantage of on Friday night.
So as Kurt said, 2-0 in this count. 2 outs. McGowan on first. Pitch from Smith. Gets the outside corner for strike one.
Scoreboard here at McDonald Stadium. Denver has doubled up El Dorado in every category. 4-6-2, 2-3-1.
How about that? Pitch from Smith is hammered down the left field line. Extra bases for him. McGowan around third. He'll score. As Oliver will stay at second. And just like he said, 3 outs, and the Broncos capitalize to make this game 4-3.
Smith went off speed, Avery, and Oliver was right on it, and he smacked that thing down the line. It reached the track and the wall. And for Denver, they still had a chance at McGowan, but the left fielder's throw, let's see, that was Crispino's throw to the cutoff man at short. Carafilio two-hopped him. Carafilio had to kind of wait and gather, and he still made it fairly close, although McGowan had it, but a better throw might have gotten McGowan. But a great job, again, aggressive base running. That's what we've seen from El Dorado, and they're within 1 now.
Just like that, 4-3. Top of the lineup back up in Sam Lane, and he'll foul one outside the stadium to start this count at 0-1.
How clutch is Morgan Oliver? A 2-out, 3-run double against Hayesville on Friday night to make it 7-6. Here he is up 2 outs. This is a number 9 hitter. Guys generally think, oh, a 9 hitter, we can get him out. And he comes through again with a big 2-out RBI.
As Smith throws one in the dirt, and that'll advance Oliver to third base.
Wild pitch there against Garrett Smith. An inning that Smith should really be out of, Avery.
That's, like you said, the Broncos have been taking advantage of other teams' mistakes here early in the season. 1-1 pitch to Lane. Inside, call the ball. And Cerullo will go to the mound to talk to Smith.
I think to settle him down a little bit, I think he thought that was a strike and didn't get the call, and tell him, bear down. We can't afford you to lose your cool here with a runner at third.
You know, Sam Lane, like you said, he's got some speed. The third baseman and first baseman way back. He'll chop one to the shortstop. Carafilio grabs it, but doesn't even have time to make a throw over to first because of Sam Lane's great speed. And this game is tied at 4.
Again, a high chopper. We saw a lot of these Friday night. Lane, that's what you tell these leadoff guys. You know, if you have speed, chop it into that turf, make it bounce, and use your speed. And Carafilio wisely didn't make a throw there.
Levi Parker up now, and he'll foul one over the left side outside of the stadium.
Avery, this is the 8th batter to bat in this inning for El Dorado. They've scored 4 times to tie it.
And it probably only should have been about a 4 or 5 batter inning, but one error, and now some momentum here from the Broncos. 0-1 pitched. Is swung on to the left side. Crispino right there for it, and he'll end this bottom half of the 4th inning, but the damage has been done. 4 runs put up from El Dorado in the bottom of the 4th to make it 4-4. Kurt Caden with your call coming up here at McDonald Stadium in El Dorado.
Now pitching for your El Dorado Broncos, playing out of Butler Community College, number 29, Greg Hauser. off this inning for the Denver Cougars, number 3, Chris Ramsey.
And welcome back here to El Dorado Bronco Baseball. A 4-run, 3-hit inning in the bottom of the 4th has tied this game. Schmitz with a 2-run homer, and then Oliver with a big 2-out double, and then Sam Lane with a RBI single. And we're all tied up. New pitcher in the game for El Dorado is Greg Hauser. 6'6", 225 from right here at Butler County Community College. And the first pitch to the leadoff batter, Chris Ramsey, is a ball. Ramsey go for 2 tonight, a strikeout and a flyout to center field. 2-0, he's ahead. 4 innings for Slaughter. He was all around the plate. No walks tonight for Slaughter. Gave up 6 hits, all singles. 4 earned and 2 strikeouts. Ball 3 to Ramsey, but I think for Slaughter, Avery, a pretty good performance here on his first night for the squad. He was around the plate, no free passes. He forced Denver to put it in play, and Denver, to their credit, did. But they were all singles. I mean, I think you can live with that. No one really squared one up on him as Ramsey walks.
It was a lot of hard hit singles, but nothing really deep. Nothing. I don't even know if the outfielders. Let's see. If they did, they didn't have a whole lot of pop outs to them.
Let's see, I think from my numbers here, just the one. So Slaughter kept it on the ground, induced 2 double plays. Hauser, a left-hand pitcher, walked Ramsey on 4 straight. He starts Donato off with a first pitch fastball strike. Donato is 2 for 2. 2 singles, 1 run scored for the Denver second baseman. High on the second delivery, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. 4-4, top of inning 5 from El Dorado. 6 hits for the Cougars, 5 hits for the Broncos, 2 errors, 1 critical one. 2 of the 4 runs scored by El Dorado in the 4th inning were unearned. Donato looking at strike 2. He's behind 1-2. Left-handed Hauser to the plate, and inside, Donato scoots back and out of the way. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Evan Kaler will be next. Two balls, 2 strikes, none out. Ramsey drew a leadoff walk to start off the 5th inning. And I'm sure for Denver here, after they lose a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th inning, they'd like to get back on the attack here and get El Dorado back on their heels. Schmitz and Hauser cannot get on the same page, so Schmitz will trot on out. Again, hope you're enjoying our broadcast tonight on YouTube. YouTube.com, search Kurt Caden and subscribe for free, and you can watch. And if you can't watch it live, you can watch it archived. And you can watch it as many times as you like.
Pretty good crowd here for game number 2 of the season. There's, I'd probably say 150 or 200 people here.
Yeah, I thought a very nice crowd here. Sunday night baseball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hauser's pitch off speed, and way in front was Donato and a strikeout. That'll bring up Evan Kaler. As we just keep watching the kind of a line of storms reaching right around McPherson, almost getting to McPherson, Hutchinson, and not sure how fast they're going. Hit and run here from Denver, and fouled away by Kaler. No balls, 1 strike. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Hauser over to first base, a check on Ramsey, and he's back easily. Kaler looks, and Hauser's got Ramsey picked off over to first, down to second, and Oliver dropped the ball as he was ready to go put a tag on. So that will be an error on Oliver. Pretty good throw, I thought, there from Knight. He threw it away from the runner. Oliver made the catch and was coming over to apply the tag. They had Ramsey, but the ball just scooted out of Oliver's hands. So one away and Ramsey down at second. Hauser to Kaler. He'll flip one into right field, just in front of the right fielder, and I don't believe it, but Ramsey did not advance on the play. Nice job of kind of deking him out there. Jake Spring put his glove in the air like he was going to make the catch, and that really froze Ramsey.
Smart baseball IQ play there, just even little things like putting up your glove to make that runner freeze there at second base to think you might have a chance at catching it, and instead of first and third, first and second one out.
And that'll bring up Matt Crispino for for Denver, and now Schmitz and Hauser again, still not on the right page here. So looking back on the first night, let's see, there was 1, 2, 3. El Dorado they induced 3 double plays, Avery, on Friday night, 2 more here tonight. So in 4 innings plus 9, 13 innings, they've gotten 5 double plays. That's pretty good, and they could use one here.
That's something you don't even necessarily see that much in the majors, 5 double plays in 13 innings. So pitcher's doing a good job inducing those ground ball outs.
4-4 our score. Runners on first and second for Denver. Crispino up, and a late break to third. The throw it on to second, and the runner is safe there. So a double steal from Denver. Parker felt like he got the tag down on Kaler. No chance to get Ramsey at third, so Schmitz decided to go down to second, and the ball beat him, but somehow Kaler was able to get his hand in. So a double steal from Denver. The ball low, and Schmitz does a nice job blocking it. So 2 balls, no strikes here on Matt Crispino. Crispino a single, and he reached by air. He had that chopper to Parker that eluded his glove. It bounced right over. On a play that Parker, I'm sure, was kicking himself for. Just a routine bouncer, and Parker may have just taken his eyes off it. It was one of those that seemed probably so routine that it got away from him. 3-0 count here, and Crispino will walk. Not the worst thing here. You'll bring up Cirillo, who is 0 for 1 he's hit into a double play. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the 4th.
Right here, Hauser just has to keep the ball low and make the 6 double plays in 13 innings.
Well, you walk Crispino to load the bases, but now you got a lefty on lefty matchup. So if you can't get the ground out, a strikeout would work just fine as well here for Hauser. 1 away in the top of the 5th inning. We're tied at 4, but Denver with the bases loaded. The first pitch is on the outside corner and a strike. Catcher Michael Cirillo. Bats number in the 5 hole here for Denver. 0-1, Hauser to the dish. Now a curveball in there, and boy, Cirillo was just ever so slightly backing out as that curveball started right at him, which is natural, and it just broke right across the plate, and Hauser way up here, 0-2. 4-4 our score, top of the 5th inning. And the 0-2, and a swing and a miss, and a big strikeout for Hauser.
I think you just said that, didn't you? How about that big strikeout there from Hauser? And just like you said, a good matchup, and now there's 2 outs. All you got to do is worry about the batter.
Everyone can play kind of normal. Of course, they weren't playing in or anything. Still early on in this, almost midway through in this game. But Hauser now just 1 out away from wiggling out of some deep trouble. First pitch, fastball inside, ball 1. Dane Berman, the batter, singled in the 2nd and scored, grounded out to short on a marvelous play by Morgan Oliver in the 4th inning. Low and away. Boy, Schmitz, tell you what, Schmitz shows good footwork there as he slid over and blocked that one that was in the turf. Can't really say in the dirt, although that's what it really is. It's the turf. 2-0. Now Hauser's got to come back here. In the driver's seat is Berman, third baseman for these Cougars. Open stance and the pitch right in there for a strike. Not a big open stance, but slightly open. Back foot on the back line and the front foot kind of in the middle of the box. The 2-1 pitch in there for strike two. So from 2-0 to 2-2, and Hauser's a pitch away from getting out of big trouble. Denver with single runs in the first and second, nothing in the third, 2 runs in the fourth. They want to add on here. 2-2 pitch over to Morgan Oliver at shortstop, flip to Parker, and that's the end of the inning. Terrific job by Hauser to get out of trouble. As Denver scores no runs on just 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Our score, we're halfway through from El Dorado. Denver 4, El Dorado 4. We're back after this. El Dorado baseball here on YouTube.
Just a reminder, Broncos fan. Got a couple of El Dorado Broncos players walking around selling 50-50 tickets. 3 for $1, 10 for $2. Help support the Broncos program. Give yourself an opportunity to win some money at the end of the night. 3 tickets for $1, 10 for $2. Just grab your money, wave it in the air. They'll come dancing over to you. They'll sell you some tickets. Ask them where they're from. They're here to spend their summer and enjoy their time in El Dorado. 50-50 drawing. 3 tickets for $1, 10 for $2. Be sure to visit the concession stand in the Oral Taylor Pavilion on the stadium's lower level. And Susan B. Allen Memorial Hospital is the official provider of all athletic training services for the El Dorado Broncos.
Welcome back here. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and El Dorado has been able to kind of squirm their way out of trouble. They took advantage of opportunities in the 4th inning, and we're tied right now at 4. Clayton Dalrymple will lead it off here in the 5th inning. Dalrymple, the only Bronco that didn't get to the dish in that 4th inning. Garrett Smith back out for Denver. Smith has been pretty good. He gave up the 2-run homer to Schmitz, but then went back to his old ways, got his L to ground out, got McGowan to ground one to third, but an error by Berman really opened up the floodgates as 2 more runs scored to tie this game. 1-1 to Dalrymple, and it's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Dalrymple, kind of a tough night so far. Strikeout and a ground out to Smith. 0 for 2. Smith on the 2-1 inside, and Dalrymple able to hack it foul over the El Dorado dugout. Two balls, 2 strikes to the Kansas State kid. Dalrymple grounds one to short, and a nice play there, but Dalrymple beat it out. Yeah, he really did. As Carafilio let that ball kind of play him there. He waited and waited and waited. Then he gathered and just kind of flipped it over to first base. Didn't have a lot on it. And Dalrymple, as we saw him Friday night, runs really well.
Yeah, he let it bounce about 2 or 3 times before he got it behind second base. And with Dalrymple's speed, by the time he threw it to first, beat it by a step.
And we'll give Dalrymple a single there. You know what? He ran it out, and I don't think you can give an error to Carafilio there. So Dalrymple at first, and a strike 1 pitch to Jacob Spring. Spring 0 for 2, a pop out to second and a fly out to right field. Wind still gusting from right field across the outfield to left. Dalrymple goes. He's got this stolen easily. And the ball was spiked anyway to the catcher, but Dalrymple would have had it anyway. So a stolen base for Clayton Dalrymple. So Spring's got a runner in scoring position. No out as El Dorado starts to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th. Dalrymple at second. Spring with a good hack, but he pops it here foul to the right side. And a nice over-the-shoulder catch made by Evan Kaler. And then he fires it to third to keep Dalrymple at second base. That was an excellent play by Evan Kaler.
And then to be able to throw a strike back over to third base to make sure Dalrymple didn't advance. Could be a big play when we get later in this inning.
That'll bring up first baseman, I should say, Cameron Knight. One down, Dalrymple down at second base. And again, we see the El Dorado runners at second base. They really force the second baseman for Denver to play so close to the base, Avery. I mean, there is just, again, a gaping hole between first and second here for Knight to play with. First pitch was high and tight, ball one. Smith will fire one down to second, and Dalrymple is there. Nice timing there by the pitcher Smith as he spun right as Donato got over to the base, but Dalrymple really he has not had that big of a leadoff second. 3 or 4 steps. But again, Donato about 3 or 4 steps from the base as well. Knight on an outside pitch. I thought he was going to maybe spray one there to right field instead of swinging a miss. Knight playing his ball right here in El Dorado at Butler County. 1-1 count to Cameron Knight. A little too much time, so he'll step out. Same 2 teams here tomorrow night. We'll have the broadcast pregame shortly before 7, and then first pitch right around 7 o'clock. Denver at El Dorado. Broncos go on the road Tuesday, and we will not have coverage of that one. We will cover them back here Wednesday night. For the league opener, as Knight hits one to right field. That's carrying. Nice job, though, making a nice catch is Ramsey. He'll fire one in. Dalrymple will get to third base on the tag. And now he kicks the ball away. I don't think you can do that. Dalrymple is in. Kind of a old school play there. But they're actually going to call Dalrymple out for, I guess, interference. The ball had been thrown to third base. And the third baseman, Berman, it was kind of between the legs of Dalrymple, and then it skirted over to Berman. It was just on the ground. And so while on the base, Dalrymple kicked the ball away and scampered home. But you can't do that. I don't know what the exact rule is, Avery, but that just didn't even look right, and the umpires have called Dalrymple out.
How do we write that in our books?
I'm not sure. Does that go as a double play then, I guess? I don't know. It's a double play. So let's see. If you're scoring at home, it would be 9-5 Dalrymple, because he made the last day. He's the last one to touch it. We're tied at 4 after 5 innings. More play-by-play in a moment from El Dorado. And welcome back to El Dorado. Hauser taking his warm-up pitches. We're through 5, and we're tied at 4. Very interesting way. You know, you always hear it, Avery, and it's so true with this funny game that you just never know when you go to the ball yard. You might see something you've never seen before, and I have never seen that before, where a player kicks the ball away, scampers home, but he's called out for, I guess you would call interference.
I think they should at least give him a run for creativity or something. I mean, I'd never seen that either. That's very rare, I guess, to see a player kick the ball, but whatever you can do, I guess you can only go as far as the umpires let you, and the umpire didn't let him go very far there. Due up here for the Cougars is Luis Carafilio. He's 1 for 2 on the night with a base hit in the 4th inning. Hauser's second pitch of this at bat is high and outside. And it's a 2-0 count. Hauser pitches one into the turf for ball 3. 4-4, top of the 6th inning here at McDonald Stadium in El Dorado. Hauser's 3-0 pitches right down the middle for strike 1. Bouncing ball to the third baseman. Azell, his throw over to first. A good scoop there from Cameron Knight for out number 1. I think I figured out what happened there on that last play with Cameron Knight. I think maybe he was looking forward to the World Cup here coming up in the next couple days. Dalrymple, yeah. I think he was maybe
showing off
some of his foot skills for all these, pro scouts out here. First pitch from Hauser is a ball to Travis Pete, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 2 with the strikeout. Committed the second out in both the second, fourth, and potentially the sixth inning here. Strike number 1 and is 1-1 to Pete. Hauser's pitch. Good curveball in there for strike 2. 1-2 pitch, 1 out to Travis Pete. And looks like maybe a slider there hanging, but tipped foul for Travis Pete. It'll keep the count at 1-2. Hauser's pitch. Grounded to the third base side, and Azell trying to make the Sports Center top 10 tonight is bad throw over to Cameron Knight, and that'll put Travis Pete on at first base to like 1 out here in the 6th inning.
He broke his streak of making the second out.
He did.
He'll get a single on that. Just a short chopper there. Azell made a great effort, but no chance to get the runner there. But just in the short time of kind of getting to know or getting to watch this Azell, I don't think there's a play that he thinks he can't make out there.
Which is a good thing. I have confidence out there, and just that time, Travis Pete got pretty good speed on him, and he gets to first base there. 9th batter in the batting order for the Cougars up, Hunter Brown, the center fielder. Right-handed batter. Going up against left-handed pitcher Greg Hauser. He attempts to bunt, doesn't go all the way around, and it's ball 1. Travis Pete standing on first base. Cameron Knight holding him. Hauser's 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle and swung on and missed by Brown to even up the count at 1-1. Brown wiping maybe some sweat off on his hands, get better grip on that bat. Hauser's pitch. Inside, swung on and missed, but the ball gets past Schmitz, and that'll be a pass ball and advance Travis Pete to second base. So a runner in scoring position with 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. One and 2 is the count to center fielder Hunter Brown. He's 1 for 2 on the night with the single back in the 2nd inning. 1-2 pitches hit down the line but foul. Dalrymple sprints over to the line to grab it and throw it back to pitcher Greg Hauser. Hauser back on the mound in the stretch with the guy on second base. Pitch fouled out of play. So Hunter Brown stays in this at bat. This will be the 6th pitch of this at bat. 1-2, 1 out. Travis Pete standing on second base. Hauser's pitch is fouled back on the screen. Stays at 1-2. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Cougars, 4 runs on 6 hits for the Broncos here in the top of the 6th inning. 2 errors committed by both squads. Curveball is hit into center field. Lane with it. He's going to throw it home, and it's cut off by the pitcher, Hauser. Excuse me, that's cut off by the first baseman, Knight, and that'll be a RBI single and advance to second by Hunter Brown. I'll bring up leadoff hitter Chris Ramsey, a right fielder. It is 5-4 Cougars. Ramsey 0 for 2 tonight with a walk back in the 5th inning. Steps in, takes a practice swing. He's ready to go. Hauser's left-handed pitch. Curveball in there for a strike. 0-1. Next pitch from Hauser is fouled off to the right side. To make it 0-2. 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. For out number 2. I'll bring up Jaron Donato. Donato steps into the box. First pitch is low and going to be called strike. Starts this at bat 0-1. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Hunter Brown on second base. And he's going to go to third, and now he's caught in a pickle. Hauser just runs right at him. Over to Parker. Parker to Zell, the third baseman. Now he's still in the pickle, and he's going to get tagged, which will end this inning. That is the second time. No, excuse me. That's the second time that a player's gotten caught in a pickle here in this game, and the Broncos did a good job there. Just keep on running down the runner Hunter Brown, and that'll bring the top of the 6th inning to an end. Cougars 5, Broncos 4. More El Dorado Broncos baseball right after this.
Money in there, they'll put Hunter over to you. I am sure. Your opportunity to raise some money for the Broncos baseball program. And also your opportunity to win some prize tonight.
Come on, Jonathan.
Jonathan Schmidt stepping into the box for the Broncos here, and he hits one to the right side. It's high and deep, and it is over the fence and gone. Jonathan Schmidt, his second home run of the game. And just like that, this game is tied back up again. How about Jonathan Schmidt? 2 home runs and 3 RBIs for that young man tonight. And we're only in the 6th inning.
University, your catcher, Jonathan Schmitz.
That'll bring up Trevor Azell.
Number 1, Trevor Azell.
5-5 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch from Smith is fouled off to the left side by Azell. So Jonathan Schmitz, in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Broncos were down 4-0. He gets a 2-run home run, which really gave the Broncos some momentum, and then the Cougars finally take the lead again in the top of the 6th to make it 5-4, and Schmitz comes right back. First pitch home run. As Azell swings and makes it a 1-2 count. Right-handed pitch from Smith on the outside corner, laid off by Azell, and it is ball 2. Azell lets one go across his chest. Umpire doesn't give Smith the call, and that is 3-2. Azell hits one deep center field. Brown running back, and it's over his head into the warning track. Azell with a stand-up double. So a home run and a double to start off this 6th inning from Jonathan Schmitz, and then Trevor Azell. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Jeremy McGowan.
You mentioned he hit it well. I think he thought that was going. He hit it to the deepest part of the yard here, and it one-hop the 375. I mean, short-hop the 375 part of the fence.
Smith's throw. Azell dancing on second base. It's thrown past the catcher. And Azell now on third base, as Cerullo is going to go out and talk to Garrett Smith. Jeremy McGowan taking a couple practice swings as Cerullo still talking with his pitcher. Maybe trying to settle him down just a little bit here in the bottom of the 6th inning with the guy on third and no outs. We'll be back here tomorrow night as the Broncos host the Cougars again. First pitch at 7 p.m. We'll be on about 6:55 right here. Just look up Kurt Caden again on the YouTube channel or in the search box for game number 2. Infield comes in for the Cougars as Smith delivers ball number 2, and it is a 2-0 count to Jeremy McGowan. If you're McGowan, you're really looking for your pitch now up in this count with the guy on third. 2-0 pitch in there for strike number 1 on the inside corner. 5-5 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Azell on third. Smith's pitch hit up to the shortstop, and he bobbles it. McGowan will still be thrown out at first. Carafelio bobbled it, but McGowan still could not get to first base in time. So that'll bring up Morgan Oliver. Still only 1 out with Azell on third. Oliver 1 for 2. Hit a double, RBI double in the 4th inning. Looking to get another RBI here with Azell on third. Pitch from Smith is hammered down the center field, and it's a base hit. And that'll score Azell easily. And the Broncos take a 6-5 lead.
Avery, again, how clutch Morgan Oliver, a number 9 hitter, and again, no disrespect, but generally, you know, you get down to the bottom of the order, you think that might be a little bit of a break, but Morgan Oliver says, no, it is not a break. He has become an RBI machine here in just the first 2 games.
And how about his night tonight? 3 RBIs, 2 for 3.
Oh, for Schmitz, yeah.
For Schmitz and Oliver, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. Both of them coming in with combining for the 6 RBIs. Love to hear from you tonight. Email us at cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. Like to hear where you're listening from. Parents, grandparents, friends. Like to get a shout out. Be happy to do it. Like to see where people are listening from tonight as El Dorado Broncos lead 6-5 over the Denver Cougars. Back to the top of the lineup in Sam Lane. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Oliver on first. Pitch from Smith is high, and looked like Morgan Oliver was already running, and he is there on second base. So another man in scoring position with 1 out. Sam Lane looking to capitalize. Donato really hovering over second base, and like Kurt said numerous times tonight, a big hole between first and second if Lane could just punch one over there. One pitch, 1 out. 6-5 Broncos with the advantage, and Smith throws one back to Donato, and unfortunately Morgan Oliver comes up maybe holding a stomach here.
I'm not sure if he got spiked there or maybe jammed a finger. This year more than any, watching baseball, I've seen a lot of guys dislocate fingers and thumbs or whatnot. Of course, we don't have any replay or monitors out there, so we're just speculating. But we hope Morgan's all right. By the way, we see a trainer running out. Susan B. Allen Memorial Hospital right here in El Dorado, furnishing trainers for all the home games. So we appreciate the friendly folks over at Susan B. Allen Memorial Hospital here in El Dorado. And we know Morgan Oliver will be well taken care of.
Like Kurt said, he's been clutch these last 2 games for the Broncos. Tonight, 2 for 3 RBIs, and he is sat up. And he actually gets up on his own power, and he's looking at his right hand. So you were right, Kurt. Something sliding in there, whether it was a spike or a dislocated finger
or even a wrist. Maybe he got, like you said, maybe he got spiked up the wrist, or maybe inadvertently the second baseman there, Donato, may have come down with a knee on him. I mean, they were jumbled together there. Oliver then showed the trainer his hand, and the trainer came sprinting off the field. And now Morgan is walking off. He looks okay, but just the fact that he's coming out tells me something's awry here a little bit, and we can only hope the best for Morgan Oliver. And
I know still early in this season here for the Broncos, so definitely want to take precautionary matters here. And
I'm looking at his right wrist, Avery, and I mean he's holding it kind of awkwardly, but not really in pain or anything. And we don't want to speculate. Is it jammed, sprained? Is there a break? We don't know. But he's going to get some work here, and it looks like they're going to, the way they're reacting, no pinch runner racing out there. Maybe they're going to do a little treatment here, and maybe he can stay in this game too. So that's a very good sign.
And so right now, Broncos lead it 6-5, and we're going to let Morgan Oliver get taped up. We're going to catch our breath. Broncos lead 6-5. We'll be right back with more of this bottom of the 6th inning.
Watching this every home game this season. Kurt Caden and Avery Osen are doing the play-by-play online. It's free to access. Go to www.youtube.com. Search for Kurt Caden. That's with 2 C's. Kurt Caden. And subscribe to his channel for free. We'll always post a link on the El Dorado Broncos Facebook page. The games are also archived, so you can go back and watch any Broncos home game. Again, youtube.com, search for Kurt Caden with 2 C's. C-U-R-T-C-A-D-E-N. Another reminder about the heavy duty drive. Got the Broncos players walking round, 7 tickets, $34 ticket for $2. We'll draw later this evening. Please draw your number. You win half the total amount raised. The other half goes to support your local Dorado Broncos baseball team.
You nailed it. I'm going to try to either Austin or stick an L in there.
I almost stuck it out there. Maybe you missed it. I'm going to hang on to that. Here we go.
Avery Dawson alongside Kurt Caden here for El Dorado Broncos baseball, bringing you every single home Broncos baseball game this season, and happy to do it. And happy to see Morgan Oliver sprint back out to second base as he looks like maybe taped up his hand. Is that?
Yeah, it looks like a pretty quick tape job here from the trainers from the Susan B. Allen Memorial Hospital here in El Dorado. And okay, how about we force you to dive back into second base, Morgan? That's what Garrett Smith did there with no throw.
1-1 count to Sam Lane. That ball in the dirt. Oliver tries to take third base, and he's thrown out. Throws his helmet down in frustration there, I'm sure, after getting taped up and everything. Ball falls just right in front of the third baseman's glove, and he had an easy play, tagged out Morgan, and it is 2-1 count now to Sam Lane with 2 outs.
As he fouls one off, Avery, great job there by the catcher, Michael Sorello. He blocked that ball, kept it in front of him. In fact, it bounced towards third base. Oliver saw it get away, so it wasn't an awful read by him, but it was fortunate where Denver wasn't. A strike by Sorello, and Berman put the tag on.
Sam Lane hits one to center field, and it'll drop right in front of Brown. And that is a base hit, his third of the game.
And that stings a little bit. That probably would have, with 2 down here in the inning, Oliver would have been running on the contact, so probably would have scored a run there. So that's a frustrating moment here for El Dorado.
Nevertheless, up 6-5 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Levi Parker up for his turn at bat. Right-handed pitch from Smith inside and called strike. To get ahead of Levi Parker, 0-1. 2 outs. Sam Lane on first base. Smith takes an extra look over at Lane on first base. Now fires one to the plate and is not even close. And Sam Lane will get to second base, and I think he maybe could have walked there after a errant throw. And you know that it wasn't a great throw, and Garrett Smith actually kind of chuckles at that pitch, Kurt.
It looked like it just when it got off his fingertips wrong, and even if it would have been a right-handed batter there, I don't think it would have been hit because it sailed so high over the batter's box there. But you got to have some fun with yourself, you know.
So that brings the count to 1-1. Smith's delivery outside for ball 2.
You know, he scored the games here, Avery, and for Morgan Oliver, I've got all sorts of ink on his box. He got a single, an RBI, he stole a base, he got injured, returned, and got caught stealing third.
He'll sleep well tonight.
That's a busy at-bat. Or a busy at-bat and time on base.
So, as baseball terms, the deuces are wild here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. The Broncos have put up 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Levi Parker up at bat. Sam Lane on second. Pitch. Another wild pitch, and that'll send Sam Lane to third.
You know, maybe Smith is tiring. He's throwing a lot of pitches tonight. It's a little humid in the air, so generally that helps you actually grab the ball a little better. And the 2 pitches here during this at-bat to Parker, thank goodness he's on the left side because they have been very erratic on the right-hander's batter's box side.
I don't even know. That one was even a little wild. I don't know if that would have hit the right-handed batter. 3-2 pitch hits the outside corner, and Levi Parker is called out looking. So at the end of 6, Broncos take the lead 6-5. Top of the 7th coming up. You're listening to El Dorado Broncos baseball.
Now pitching for your El Dorado Broncos. Out of Augusta, number 14, Joe Kennedy.
So sidearm pitcher Joe Kennedy relieves Greg Hauser in this ball game. And Kurt, you got some stats on he just pitched Friday night.
Yeah, and he had a good couple of innings. You might remember Coach Gerwich brought in a bevy of pitchers on Friday night. Kennedy was the second pitcher to come in on Friday night's game against Hayesville. 2 innings pitched, gave up no runs, no hits, didn't walk anyone. He had 1 strikeout. He did hit 1 batter, but a pretty clean sheet for Kennedy on Friday night.
And Kennedy will face Jaron Donato first here in the top of the 7th inning. Second pitch of this at-bat is outside for a ball, and Donato jumps out to a 2-0 lead.
Avery, just FYI, Greg Hauser right now is the pitcher of record. He went 2 innings, and we'll give you more stats on him in a moment.
Good pitch on the inside half for strike number 1.
2 innings, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, 1 run given up by Hauser.
As Donato hits a comebacker to Kennedy, and he'll toss it over tonight for out number 1.
Let me restart that again. 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, but no runs. He walked 2 batters. He struck out 3. So Hauser threw a lot of pitches, had an adventurous couple of innings, but only gave up the 1 run. His team has taken the lead as he exits. So again, he is the pitcher of record right now, can only win this game if El Dorado can not get tied or give up the lead, and they go on to win this game.
Kennedy's first pitch is in there for strike 1. I remember he had some big pitches there, and I think it was the 5th and 6th inning. I actually think he got out of bases loaded, 1 out, I believe Hauser did. Kennedy's next pitch is low in the dirt, and ball 1.
Well, you remember, actually, he didn't get out of that jam. He came in right after the grand slam by Weber and just calmed the waters. He got the next 3 batters out, and then the next 3, he actually picked off, or he got all 6 batters in order.
I'm in Hauser.
Oh, Hauser, yeah.
This game came in and did that. And Kennedy last night, after that grand slam, came in and really took control of this game through those middle parts of last night's game. Kennedy did. Ball 3 to Kaler. Evan Kaler, the first baseman. 2 for 3 today with 2 singles. Next pitch from Kennedy, and base hit there from Kaler, and he'll have 3 base hits.
Really a nice piece of hitting there, not trying to do too much as that ball was sliding from the inside part of the plate to the outside. He just reached out there, made good contact, and slapped it right between Parker and Knight.
And that's kind of what we've been looking for the Broncos a couple times here. They've been really hugging that second baseman when they have someone on, and Kaler that time just did it without anybody on base right in between the first and second baseman. As Kennedy throws a strike on the outside corner to get ahead at 0-1. Matt Crispino. 1 for 1 today. He reached on the, as he hits one back to Kennedy. He'll throw it over to second and first, and a double play. That was Oliver tonight, and just like that, another double play for this Broncos team, and that'll bring us to the bottom of the 7th. And as Kurt is indicating, 6 double plays in the first 2 games here for the Broncos. Going in the bottom of the 7th, it's stretch time here at McDonald Stadium. Broncos lead 6-5.
All right, Broncos fans, it's time for that age-old tradition, the 7th inning stretch. Let's get up, shake it out. Everyone's got to stand up when we do this. Stand up, shake it out, and let's sing a little "Take Me Out to the Ball." I'm not going to sing, I'm not English, so here's some music for you.
Oh, come on, Bill. Come on, Bill, sing it. Come on, Bill. No, fine. I know. Come on. Hey, we're breaking it. Beat up your chest. I don't care if I never get back, 'cause it's root for the ball. It's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes you're out of here.
All right, fans. Somebody want to hear me sing, trust me. This it gets around here. We've got a new pitcher for the Denver Cougars. Number 12, 1-2. Number 12, Kyle Macy.
So as we get ready for this bottom of the 7th inning, Cougars will relieve starting pitcher Garrett Smith, who went 6 strong tonight, giving up 6 runs, 5 earned, as Kyle Macy relieves him for the Cougars. Clayton Dalrymple steps up to the plate. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Righty on righty matchup, and Macy jumps ahead 0-1. Both teams with 10 hits and 2 errors in this game. Macy's next pitch is swung on for strike 2. Dalrymple hit a single and had a stolen base in the 5th inning. 0-2 pitch is high for ball 1.
Favor, I noticed a severe thunderstorm warning issued for Harvey County, South Central Kansas, Southern McPherson County, Northeastern Reno County. They're expecting heavy downpours, really maybe some 50 to 60 mile an hour winds.
As Dalrymple fouls it off to stay in the at-bat.
The main part of that storm right now, 8 miles north of Hutchinson and moving east, so that is not in line with El Dorado. Now there's other storms behind that. That's kind of the leading edge of storms, but that's kind of what's going on weather-wise right now. Still just kind of hot and muggy here. Temperature still low 80s here in El Dorado. We've only dropped 3 degrees, even though the sun has gone down.
Hopefully that rain will stay away for at least another 2.5 innings, so we can get it out of here and come back tomorrow night. Macy throws one outside for ball 2.
Butler County, which is the county we're in, is not in that weather watch. A lot of counties to the west and north of Butler are, but not Butler County.
And Dalrymple strikes out swinging. And he is 1 for 4 tonight. So Macy comes in and gets a quick strikeout as Jacob Spring steps up to the plate. The right fielder is Jacob Spring. Macy's first pitch of this at-bat is fouled out of the stadium on the right side for strike 1.
How interesting for Kyle Macy, the new pitcher. He plays his college ball here at Butler County. and he's a member of the Denver Cougars, and here he is back at. He went to El Dorado High School, so he's been to the stadium
once or twice. He's been here, and probably playing against some of his teammates, because I know we've said Butler County for the Broncos, as he throws one into the dirt, and it is 2-1, and umpire has a new ball for him.
Is that what he gave? He gave him a new ball?
Yeah. I think that ball, out of courtesy, maybe hit the catcher, so to give him a couple more seconds to rest, he went out and walked the ball out to Macy. 2-1. Is swung and fouled.
Umpires know how tough it is being behind the plate there, and umpires get dinged up, catchers get dinged up, so they usually see a good relation between catchers and umpires.
Macy's pitch, low and outside past the catcher, but no one's on base. Yeah, and you would see the same if the umpire was hit with the ball. I'm sure Cerullo would go out to the. I'm sure Cerullo would go out and do the same, as a ball is low and outside for ball 4, and that'll put Jacob Spring on first base. Cameron Knight steps up to the plate, first baseman. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. His first swing is a little late for strike 1, as Macy delivers a fastball right past him. Macy throws it over to Kaler at first. Not in time to get Spring, though. Macy now coming home with the pitch. And called strike 2 on the outside. 0-2 pitch. One out. Jacob Spring on first. His 0-2 pitch is high. And ball 1.
I apologize to the folks who are watching right now. I had kind of messed with the computer. So when you see all that movement, that jiggling around, that's me trying to get the camera set back up.
We didn't get hit by an earthquake?
No earthquake. We're doing fine here. That's just me showing my tech side.
As Macy throws a fastball right past Cameron Knight for the second out of the inning. And I'll bring up Jonathan Schmitz, who is 2 for 2, 2 home runs and 3 RBIs here tonight. We'll see if he can have a very memorable night with a man on first base. Macy ready to pitch. Fires one right on his inside, and it is strike 1. Two outs here in the bottom of the 7th as Macy throws it over to Kaler at first, not in time to get Spring, as Spring has to dive back to first base. Schmitz holds up his hands to the umpire. Now he's ready. Pitch high and inside and for ball 1.
You know, we don't have a radar gun, but boy, Macy, who's not a huge fellow, really has some some life on his fastball. That was on Schmitz in a hurry.
And if you're Schmitz here, that means you don't have to put a whole lot of power on it, but just get enough. Schmitz pitch inside as Spring goes to second, and he is thrown out at second base. A perfect throw from Cerullo. And that will bring us to an end of the 7th inning. At the end of 7, Broncos 6, Cougars 5. Top of the 8th inning coming up. You're listening to El Dorado Broncos baseball.
And now pitching for your El Dorado Broncos, number 11, playing out of Butler Community College, Colt Weiner.
Broncos lead this one 6-5 here in the top of the 8th inning. The Broncos put up a 4-spot in the 5th inning and a 2-spot, or excuse me, they put up a 4-spot in the 4th inning, 2-spot in the 6th inning for their 6 runs. And the Cougars scoring 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 6th for their 5 runs. And the Broncos leading 6-5 here in this game. Bringing us down the home stretch, Kirk Hayden.
Thank you, Avery. One of the neat things they do here, they have the dirtiest car in the parking lot prizes, and whoever's got the dirtiest car gets a couple of free tokens to get their car washed. So I got to remember that next time my car looks dirty. I need to make sure that whoever judges that sees my car. We're tied up. No, we're not. It's 6-5 El Dorado. We're in the top of the 8th inning. And the new pitcher is Colt Weiner. So 1 inning for Kennedy, 1 hit. But a 1-6-3 double play got him out of any damage there. So 3 innings pitched by Kennedy in relief this year and nothing across the plate. Weiner plays at Butler County Community College. Wheels and deals. A 5'9", 175-pound left-hander throws in a strike. It's Michael Cirillo to lead off for the Denver Cougars, and the second pitch also a strike. So 0-2, Weiner to Cirillo. Weiner a long lock in, and now he'll wheel and deal, and low and outside. Schmitz with the stop, ball 1. 6 runs on 10 hits for El Dorado, 2 errors. Denver, 5 runs on 10 hits and 2 errors. And the 1-2, I don't think it missed the plate. I think if anything, it had to have been low. But always hard to tell up here. Umpire has a much better look than Avery and I, so you won't see us argue a whole lot on those, but it was close. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Left-handed batter, Cirillo, the catcher. Lefty on lefty here, and the pitch outside, just off the plate, and Cirillo's worked it full. Denver has left 4 men on base. El Dorado has left 5 men on base tonight. 3-2 pitch. With none out here in the top of the 8th inning. And a little too long of a wait for Cirillo. Berman and Carafilio, the next 2 hitters for Denver here in the 8th inning. They trail it by 1, and Weiner with a beautiful slider. And strikes out Cirillo. So Dane Berman will come up, the third baseman. 1 for 3 tonight is Berman, a single in the 2nd, ground out to short in the 4th, and a fielder's choice. That was hit to Morgan Oliver, and he flipped it over to second base to end the inning in the 5th inning. And Berman starts off strike 1. Cole Weiner showing good stuff here in the first two batters from Plano, Texas. And he really tied up Berman there. Halfway through that swing, Berman didn't want to, but he was so enough committed he had to just finish off the swing. And now it's 0-2. Weiner way in front. Colt looks in, wheels, deals, curveball. Went through the legs of the batter. I think he assumed he was going to get hit, and he didn't get hit. It went through his legs.
So we've seen a ball kicked tonight and a ball between a batter's legs.
And I'm sure he just thought that has to hit me. And now Weiner goes outside in a swinging strike three. So 2 down here in the 8th inning. 6-5. Yeah, Bill Young quick on the another one bites the dust here too. I like that. A DJ. So 2 down in the 8th. And a curveball again, back foot curve there. And it's ball 1 on Carafello. 1 for 2 with a sacrifice is Carafello. He's knocked in a pair of runs. He hit a 2 RBI single in the 4th inning that gave Denver a 4-0 lead. But El Dorado, as they have done, we've learned from this team early on, they will battle back. Trailed by 5 on Friday against Hayesville, 1-1. Trailed by 4 here tonight, and they're up 1 in the 8th. Cole Weiner is 2-1 right now with Louis Carafilio. Travis Pete would be next for the Cougars. 2 balls, 1 strike. Colt Weiner. Long look in. And the pitch is hit high in the air to left field. And it continues to carry. In fact, the center fielder, Sam Lane, takes charge and makes the catch. A clean sheet for Weiner. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. El Dorado 6, Denver 5. We're back after this from El Dorado.
Draw your ticket. So take your letters, numbers 274-527. 274-527. Got 20 tickets, come on up here. Tonight's 50-50 drawing. You're at the $77.50, which means we raised $77.50 for the Dorado Broncos. 274-527. And leading off this inning for your El Dorado Broncos.
And welcome back to El Dorado. The Broncos lead 6-5. They'd love to get a little insurance here. And Jonathan Schmitz will come to the plate. All Schmitz has done tonight is go 2 for 3 with 2 bombs and 3 RBI. Macy goes high in ball 1. Schmitz was at the plate, you might remember, at the in the 7th inning, but Jacob Spring was caught stealing. So Schmitz returns to the dish. 1-0 the count, and a good whack at that fastball, but fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. El Dorado trailed 4-0. Put 4 runs on the board in the bottom of the 4th, but then Denver reclaimed the lead in the 6th. Schmitz, ball over his shoulder. Schmitz with a little look back out at Macy. I don't think there was any intent there. 2 balls and a strike. El Dorado fell behind, though, 5-4. And they were able to put 2 runs back on the board in the bottom of the 6th to take a 6-5 lead, and that's where we stand right now here in the bottom of the 8th. Macy, nice inside strike for strike 2. Macy, again, we mentioned earlier, from El Dorado. Played at El Dorado High, plays at Butler County Community College, but playing a summer ball for the Denver Cougars. And Schmitz inside, takes one to deep left field. Goodbye. A three-homer night for Jonathan Schmitz. And the left fielder, Avery Mac Crispino, has seen it before, and he may have taken one or two steps and realized that was way out. Boy, what a night for Schmitz.
Not one, not two, but 3 home runs for him tonight as he gets a well-deserved applause from this crowd and a well done by the Broncos dugout, all going over and giving him a big hug and high fives. Is 3 home runs for him tonight.
Gary says that's never been done with the wood bats here for El Dorado, a 3 home run night. So here comes Trevor Azell. I know you had a little trouble with Schmitz's name Friday night. I think he's making it very clear to you how to say his name tonight. It's a hard one to forget.
I would say so. Jonathan Schmitz, a name I will not forget.
And a game, boy, we're glad to be able to bring these games to you. If you have a chance to come out to the yard, it's always a lot more fun. You can always go back and watch the archive broadcast. But we have seen some things here tonight, Avery. We've seen a runner try to kick a ball away and score. We've seen a 1-4-5-6 put out. We've seen a 3 home run night for Jonathan Schmitz. As Azell bloops one over second base, and it's going to land in the Bermuda Triangle. And a single for Azell, trying to stretch it to 2, though, and he's going to be thrown out. What a play. 4 Cougars were out in the outfield, and it's the first baseman, Avery Kaler, who runs very intently, runs over and covers second. And so that put out actually is going to go 6-3, and it was put out at second base.
And I think Azell was maybe being a little momentum there from the rest of his teammates, thinking I can stretch this out to 2. But the ball did bounce over Brown's, over the center fielder's head. And so it looked like for a minute that he was going to get second. But like you said, first baseman Kaler just made a smart heads-up play to make whenever he saw the second baseman. Like you said, there was 4 guys out there in the outfield, the second baseman and shortstop. So as PA announcer said 27, first time in 27 years, I think they said, that no one has ever hit 3 home runs in a game. So congratulations, Jonathan Schmitz. 3 home run game tonight.
El Dorado leads this one 7-5. So as I mentioned, that's a single for Azell, and he's put out 6-3. The shortstop, along with the second baseman and the right fielder and the center fielder, all were converging on that bloop. And the shortstop actually grabbed the ball, fired it to Kaler. So generally, you have 6-3 in your book, you figure ground ball to shortstop over to first base. But no, this was the shortstop from shallow center field throwing to the first baseman who's covering second base. Another quirky thing here tonight. 1-1, the count to Jeremy McGowan. McGowan 0 for 3 tonight. He has scored a run. He reached on a critical error back in the 4th inning by Berman, which really led to 2 unearned runs and helped El Dorado tie the game in the 4th inning at 4. McGowan a strikeout in the 2nd inning and a ground out to short in the 6th inning. Here he bats in the 8th with 1 down. 7-5 El Dorado. And McGowan to 3rd. Nice pick there by Berman. He rifles to 1st, and the out is made. A play Berman, I'm sure, wishes he could have over from the 4th inning. So 2 down, and here comes Morgan Oliver. Morgan plays at Central Michigan. We've appreciated the comments from the Oliver family. We assume mom, but we don't know for sure. But we sure enjoy watching Morgan here. And we were a little worried as he dove back to second base earlier in this game. Was hurt. He got a tape job, but he has thrown a couple of balls. He looks fine. And now Oliver steps into one deep left field. Gone! Morgan Oliver! And El Dorado has been playing long ball tonight. That's the 4th home run for the Broncos. And for Oliver, his third RBI and his second run scored tonight.
And just not that we've said it enough tonight already, but the ninth batter in the batting lineup doing some good work. Like you said, a home run, and he is a triple shy of the cycle tonight.
The only way we hope he gets another at bat is if El Dorado bats all the way around here in this eighth inning. We'd like to see him retire Denver 1-2-3 in the ninth, of course. But boy, what a game by Morgan Oliver, as he's getting maybe outdone just a bit by Schmitz. And now Lane into the hole. That's going to be a tough play. Jumping throw. Lane beat it out. Infield single for Sam Lane. He put that in the perfect place. The third baseman, Berman, was hugging the line a bit, couldn't get there, and the shortstop, Carafelio, had to range deep in the hole. Derek Jeter, left his feet and threw it. Made an accurate throw. I'm always amazed that guys can make that throw, but Sam Lane beat it by a step. So Levi Parker now comes up. 2 down here in the eighth inning. El Dorado has padded their lead. Oh, and Parker slaps one just fouled on the third base line. 8-5 Broncos. Same two teams here tomorrow night.
Broncos buying a little insurance here in the bottom of the eighth inning. 2 long balls to give them a 3-run advantage.
No balls, 1 strike to Levi Parker. And Macy to the plate, and Parker, and it's bounced through the catcher's legs, and Lane will take second base. So another run out there, a wild pitch on Macy. Lane was not in steal position there, where he wasn't planning on going. He'll take the extra base here, and the Broncos, again, you can just all the crazy things we've seen just in 2 nights, Avery. There's people who have seen a lot more NBC baseball than we have, but the more the better, I would think.
It's going to be a fun year.
Yes, it is. So Levi Parker, the second baseman, watches strike 2 right across the plate. A couple of strikeouts tonight for Parker, both looking. He singled and stole a base in the first, and he flew out to left field in the 4th inning. 1 for 4 for Levi. And Parker fouls one off. Kyle Macy surrendering a couple of gopher balls here in the 8th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Macy to the belt, and the pitch fouled straight back. Well, the screen here, I mean, we're looking right through that screen, but, you look at it, and it's strong enough but thin enough, it really doesn't cause much distraction to us looking out on the field,
Just one more thing that's good about this nice ballpark here, McDonald Stadium. If you've never been, you need to get here sometime, especially to watch this Broncos team play sometime this season.
And the pitch to Parker, low. Nice stop there by Sorello. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, Avery, 2 outs here. The most important batter for Denver is Levi Parker, but Donato is right at second base. A huge hole between first and second. And Parker, a left-handed batter. That also is what's surprising to me, although he has sprayed a lot of foul balls down the third base side. The second baseman is doing the covering and not really doing a lot in and out, just kind of standing near the bag. But by the time, he's really not getting into any kind of position. So Parker's got an open alley if he can take advantage of it, but he'll foul another one off. Good at bat here for Levi Parker. 8-5 El Dorado. 8 might be the magic number for this team. They scored 8 here Friday night, beat Hayesville 8-7. The pitch, and hit to left field, and it's going to be caught. Almost drifting too far back was Crispino, but then he went to a knee and fields it and makes the catch. So a pair of home runs, one off the bat of Jonathan Schmitz, the other off the bat of Morgan Oliver, and we head to the 9th inning. El Dorado leads by 3. We'll have the 9th inning for you after this from El Dorado.
On 274, 527. And then Tom right in front of the booth had that ticket number in true Bronco fan fashion. donated his winnings right back to the Broncos. Now pitching for the Broncos, out of the University of Nebraska, number 20, Chase Gouldo.
And welcome back to El Dorado. Kurt Caden along with Avery Osen. The Broncos lead 8-5, and they'll bring in Chase Gouldo to try to finish this one off here tonight. Gouldo from the University of Nebraska Kearney, a right-hander, 6'4", 185. He pitched one inning here on Friday night. Gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Close the book now on Colt Weiner, and a terrific outing for Weiner. One inning pitch, 2 strikeouts, no walks, no hits, no runs, no errors.
It's a good start to the season for him.
So Denver trails this one by 3. They'll send 8, 9, and 1 to the plate against Gouldo. Travis Pete, the designated hitter. He's 1 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch, high and a ball. Just 2 singles for Denver in the past 3 innings. 3 singles in the last 4 innings. They did a lot of their damage in hitting in the early portions of this game. But the relievers who have come in for El Dorado, Avery, Hauser, Kennedy, Weiner, and now we hope Gouldo, have been very good.
Come in and got in the lead early in counts, and really have done a good job here in this game.
Travis Pete watches strike 1 go across. I don't think he loved the call. 2-1 as Gouldo gets ready to deliver here. And he comes from a bit of a sidearm delivery, not quite as direct as Kennedy, I think, from the sidearm, but it's still a little different angle that batters don't generally see. And a good-sized kid, 6'4", 185. 2-2 count. Gouldo the pitch, and just an emergency swing foul over the Denver dugout. Right-handed batter, Travis Pete. Gouldo looks in to the catcher, Jonathan Schmitz. And the 2-2, and fouled and caught by Schmitz. Strike out.
And Kurt, just a quick weather update.
Yeah.
It's inching closer and closer by the minute. I would probably say about 20 or 30 minutes away from a pretty heavy downpour here in El Dorado. So hopefully the Broncos can get these final 2 outs out here. We can get out of here and be unscathed of this not potential rain at this point, the rain that's going to be here.
Yeah. It'll probably be an abbreviated post-game, and we will do maybe a little more recapping tomorrow of stats and whatnot. Gary's going to have actual statistics for us, not just our own here. So tune in tomorrow for our pregame show at 6:50, and we'll kind of recap a little more tonight. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
1 ball, 1 strike to the number 9 batter, Hunter Brown, and both number 9 batters have proven that they are, that's just a number in the order, because Morgan Oliver has been great for El Dorado. Hunter Brown is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs for Denver, and he bats out of the 9 hole. So they've got good hitters. You know, someone's got to bat 9 and 8 and 7 and 6, and they're all important. I always like batting lower in the lineup because I just felt there's less pressure down there. There's a swing and a miss. And 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brown. Hope those of you watching and listening tonight will tell your friends, tell your neighbors. We'd love to just get a nice large audience to root on these El Dorado Broncos. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the number 9 batter, Brown, and he's way behind a fastball. Strike 3. So the relief corps for El Dorado, 4 of the last 5 outs have been recorded via swinging strikeout. The top of the order, Chris Ramsey, and he struck out twice. You know, it's interesting, Avery. I want to get this out before hopefully we get get off the air. But El Dorado Friday night really having to manufacture runs. Here tonight, we've seen a different aspect of their game. The long ball, 4 home runs, and again, one constant aggressive base running from El Dorado.
Yeah, it is kind of the tale of 2 games, but both of them. Hopefully they'll come out as winners. Like you said, the first game was more of a lot more base hits, singles, doubles, but
sacrifices and all that.
This game more of playing the long ball, as you said. I think 3 home runs tonight.
4. 3 from Schmitz, 1 from Oliver.
That's right. 4 home runs tonight. So it's good to see. And it always makes it a lot easier whenever you're hitting those home runs. One swing of the bat and put something up on the scoreboard.
That's the Blue Jays of Toronto, right? 0-2 here to Ramsey. And the pitch just outside, 1-2.
And on the flip side of that, don't ask the Royals.
On the other side of that, for sure. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Chase Gulzo looking to close this one out, and hopefully a 2-0 start for the Broncos. The 1-2, Gulzo to the belt, and the pitch, and a strike, and Gulzo mows down the Cougars, Avery. 3 straight strikeouts. 5 of the last 6 batters went down via strikeout by El Dorado relievers. And we talked about the long ball. Don't forget how important those 2 unearned runs were back in the 4th inning when it was 4-2. They were able to tie the game at 4, and then they took the lead, and then they pushed out that lead, and they win it here tonight 8-5.
What good teams do is take advantage of your opponent's mistakes, and that's exactly what they did Friday night and tonight. A couple costly errors in Friday night's game, a costly error tonight in the 4th inning, and the Broncos are taking full advantage of that. And they get 2 runs in that 4th inning, which really led them some momentum, got the game to 4-4, and the Broncos really getting some big home runs in the bottom of the 8th to pad the lead a little bit, and the Broncos come out of the game another 8 runs for them tonight, so they win 8-7 Friday night and 8-5 tonight.
Winning pitcher in relief was Greg Hauser. The losing pitcher was Garrett Smith, and the save goes to Chase Gulzo. The time of tonight's game, 2 hours and 35 minutes. 3 home runs for Schmitz, the hitting star, but don't forget Morgan Oliver. He was very important as well for El Dorado. The Broncos win 8-5, and they are now 2-0 on the season. We'll be back here tomorrow night. 6:50 or so. We'll recap more of the stats for you tomorrow before we have first pitch with Game 2 of this 2-game series, Denver at El Dorado. So for Avery Osen, Kurt Caden, bidding you good night from McDonald Stadium. You've been listening to El Dorado Bronco Baseball.